another edition of the Tyrone Shorter Show here on PowerCatsTV. I'm your host, Robbie Donahoe. The Wildcats coming off arguably the biggest win in the state of Mississippi from Week 2 as they were able to defeat the top-ranked West Point Green Wave 38-28. We are joined by the head coach of your Wildcats, Tyrone Shorter. Coach, this is way more fun to do when we're coming off of a victory, but I'll start with this first. There were so many things that were great about that game on Friday. What's the one thing that you were impressed by the most from that win?
You know, I was impressed by the way our kids responded. You know, I challenged them through the week, and they responded very well. You know, I learned a lot about this team, you know, and this is the type of team that I'm used to, you know. So those guys came out, they had a hell of a week of practice. We changed some things around offensively, and we decided to let these kids be themselves. And you know, like I say, I'm still learning these kids, and we allowed them to be themselves. We allowed Dre to be Dre Shoemaker, the athlete that he is. And we are blessed with a very good receiving core. So we decided we were going to spread the ball around and let those kids be themselves.
The offensive line, I think, really took a major step forward in the game. I mean, you had 4 guys in different spots. You also had some new starters in there. Just with what Coach Salas and that offensive line was able to do on Friday night, just what does it say about this team going forward that you can depend on them to get some big blocks when you need it?
It is. Our offensive line, you know, we challenged those guys as well. We moved 4 people around different positions, and Frederick, he came in. He did a very good job for us at that right tackle, and Coach Salas, hats off. I challenged him, you know, and he got those guys ready to play this week, and that's where it starts at. You know, I told, you know, the offensive line, if we have playmakers all over the field, and it starts with the offensive line. If our offensive line is good, we're gonna be good, and that's where it started. I'm proud of those guys. I'm proud of the way that they came out and they took care of business.
Defensively, you see, you know, we gave up 28 points, but you're not happy about that. But they still, I mean, when you're playing against a team like West Point that's going to ground you and pound you for 48 minutes, the fact that they were able to, you know, make the plays and obviously force the turnovers they did, what did the defense do that you liked, and maybe what's an area that they need to work on going into Friday?
I think you know, West Point is a very good football team. You can't take nothing away from them. We knew that we probably weren't going to shut them out. We knew that because they style of football they play, they're going to grind and grind and grind. We just knew we couldn't give up the big play, and we did. We did on 2 of their touchdowns. We gave up 2 passing touchdowns because we was out of position, and that's what can happen. I had to calm my defensive coordinator down, Coach Richardson, and he was upset because they scored 28 points. But, you know, that's the reason why we have a team. They call it a team. Because our offense had defense had offense back, and we're very good with special teams. But moving forward, we just can't give up the big play. I don't think anyone can just drive the ball down our throat and put long drives together. And I think, you know, we just gave up the big play, and that's what we cannot do. You know, we can't give up the big play. And I think, you know, and I know that our defense coach is going to correct that. We were just out of position. One of the touchdown kids said they didn't get the call. So it's just small things. But this is just week 2. We have a long season to go, and this team this is a scary football team because we only going to get better and better. I promise you that. We're going to get better and better and better. And like I told the team, I told our kids, we just want to get a little bit better every week. I don't want to get, you know, go all the way to the top. I want to get a little bit better every week. By the time we get into week 6, week 7, I want us to be hitting on all our cylinders.
And we have some special guests this week on the Tyrone Shorter Show. The players of the week from our win over West Point, Dre Shoemaker, Caleb Mosley. Guys, that Friday night was pretty fun, wasn't it? Dre, I'll start with you first. Just we were talking about a little bit before we were doing this, just the game that night, just the accuracy, the way you were able to lock in, just what was it like just to connect with Caleb 9 times the way you did against West Point?
I mean, It all started from my offensive line. My offensive line locked in practice, so that what made me like, stay in the pocket and get to my receiver. If I got them receptions, make big plays.
Caleb, I know I talked to you after the game, and I may have gone a little overboard on the stat line originally, but I wasn't too far off. 9 catches, over 160 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Just talk about that connection that you and Dre had in the game. Just seemed like wherever he was going to throw it, you were going to go get it.
First, I want to give a big shout out to the offensive line. Without them, we wouldn't have been able to do none of that. I just want to give a shout out to them. And me and Dre, we been doing this since we were young. We just got a lot of chemistry. I know what Jay gonna be. I know where he gonna put the ball at just by playing with him for a long amount of time. So it's just like pitch and catch to her.
That offensive line was great, but I mean also that entire receiving core. I mean, Nyselbian, tennis shoot seemed like for you. I mean, it's kind of like just an embarrassment of riches. You can throw to whoever you want out there. What is it like that you can have all those kinds of athletes you can throw to?
It's actually good because instead of just throwing to one person, everybody just clicking on that work person. I got other people I can throw the ball to as well, and they gonna catch and make big time play too. So
You look like you were having fun. Caleb, what's the thing y'all are focusing on going in on Friday against Columbus then?
And not just to go out there and just ball, keep it up. Just go off what happened last week. Put up some more points.
All right, well, I'm sure we're going to see plenty more points out of these two, Dre Shoemaker and Caleb Mosley. Guys, we thank you for the time. We'll see you on Friday. Now we turn our attention back to our head football coach, Tyrone Shorter. So we turn the page from week 2. Now we look ahead to week 3, and we look forward to taking on the Columbus Falcons coming up this Friday on the road at Columbus High School. You obviously, we talked about a coach that, you wanted this team to respond after week 1. They did. Now what's the goal for week 3? Now that this team has responded, what's next for this team going forward then?
Next for this team going forward is we got to continue to get better. I cannot allow this team, and we can't allow ourselves to look at Columbus, they 0-2. We cannot do that. We can't let this be a trap game for us. We're not looking ahead. We're looking at Columbus Falcons right now, and that's the team that we're getting ready to face on Friday. That's the team that we are focusing on. I just want to see this team get a little bit better. I want us to play better this Friday than we did last Friday. That's all I want to see. Just get a little bit better. All the mistakes that we made this past Friday, I don't expect us to make those same mistakes. And that's what you need to move forward, just get a little bit better. Just like last week, we didn't have all those bad missed snaps.
Right.
We had 1. So we got a little bit better. So that's all I want to see this team just get a little bit better every week. Every week, just get a little bit better.
And we'll see if they can continue that getting a little bit better coming up this Friday as your PowerCats, or as I'm starting to call them, the Air Attack Cats, coming up Friday when we take on the Columbus Falcons. Again, a road game, 7 o'clock kickoff time in Columbus. Make sure you make the trip to check out your Wildcats. Take on the Falcons as we look to continue our winning ways on the road against Columbus. We thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the Tyrone Shorter Show.